I'm Squire Antoinette, the Moosewitch. I am a master Senechal. I am also kind of a history nerd. Oh look, here's another slide about me. So I'm Squire to Dragon Top. I am our PR coordinator for Belegarth. I've been doing this thing since 2007. I am a Master Senechal, a Journeyman Artificer, and a Chronicler's Guild mentor, and I'm kind of a history nerd, which is why I find this information really cool and try to make it cool for others. So, we're going to start with general Belegarth history facts. So when did Belegarth start? We started in 2001 after splitting off from Dagahir. Dagahir started, according to their website, in 1977. Why did we start? There are a lot of reasons that Belegarth split from Dagahir and formed its own foam fighting society. The most major reasons include issues with the way the Dagahir Board of Directors ran Dagahir, and distance from other realms. A lot of the realms that came over when we formed were further away from the epicenter of Dagahir, which is in basically on the East Coast, in like New England area, and that sort of side of the country, where most of the realms that came over from Belegarth were Midwestern, Western, and Southern. So it had a lot to do with people traveling and where they went to events and the like. Who was our first board of directors? Our first board of directors was President Satanaka, who was president from 2002 to 2004. Our vice president was Oberyn of Wolfpack from 2005 to 2006. For a while, we only kind of had a president and a webmaster. Our treasurer, our first treasurer, was Sir Agmarth of Arnor, who is still a War Council representative to this day. And then our first secretary was Zuion of Andor. Interesting fact, Zuion and Squire Sarka, who is our current secretary, are in fact sisters. So that's pretty cool. And our first webmaster was Sir Jacanta, then of Numenor, now of Dirtamirian. Of this list of humans, only 2 of them are still active, or actively attending like events and practices and stuff. Agmarth and Jacanta. Zuion is active-ish. How old are we? So we are 20 years old. So a while back, we came up with a Elvish saying that means in the year of. So that's the means in the year of. And so in the year of Belegarth 20, we count years starting from June 16th to, which was the first day of Armageddon 1, to June 15th, which was the day before Armageddon 1. So, Belegarth year 20 started June 16th, 2021, and ends June 15th, 2022. And we will turn 21 on June 16th, 2022. So this year of the plague, numero 2, is our 20th birthday. And so we sort of missed all of the cool celebrations we could have had with that, sadly. Peerage facts. So, a quick overview of the history of peerage. Most, if not all of our lines started before Belegarth was its own society. If a knight was knighted before 2002, the chances are high that they were knighted while we were still Dagahir. To my understanding, our oldest knights lines are the peerage line of Middle-earth, the Knights of Numenor, the Knights of Dirtamirian, and the Knights of Gwenin. Until the last 5 or so years ago, knights, using various words that mean knights, were the only form of peerage in Belegarth. We now have guildmasters, multiple different monster titles that are all wrapped up into what we call peerage within Belegarth today. A quick peerage count. Please note, we just got a massive influx of new people, about 17 to 20 new realms. So these numbers don't include all of them. We have approximately 308 knights, and they have approximately 88 squires. Of this approximate 308 knights, only approximately 19 of them are female. We have 11 dragoons, and they have approximately 8 squires. We have 13 masters, 8 artificers, 5 senechals, and 0 chroniclers, with 36 apprentices broken down into 24 artificers, 10 senechals, and 2 chroniclers. There are approximately 73 kinsmen, who have approximately 97 sword brothers, their version of a squire. Note, there are a whole ton of female kinsmen, but I'm not sure how many because I can't really tell from names, and I haven't met a lot of them. We have 10 Makoots, and they have 1 mech. We have 7 goblin witch doctors and 1 forced troll witch doctor. We have 9 war masters who have 12 apprentice war masters. We have 5 Caudines with 1 Kadar, and we have 2 blade masters. I'm only aware of 2 blade masters active within Belegarth, but the likelihood that there are more from the realms we just got that were Dag and are now Bel are pretty high, but I don't track that peerage yet, so more information to come on that. They are a red fighting only sort of peerage-y thing that was mostly Dag, but now those realms are Bel, so yeah. Realms. Belegarth has 3 types of realms. We have regular realms, speaking realms, and elder voting realms. At last count, which was last night when I was making this slideshow, we have approximately 142 regular realms. That is 142 realms that we are aware of that are functioning, possibly, because we don't often delete dead realms because we don't know that they're dead. We have 17 speaking realms and 38 elder voting realms. Realm growth. Due to some ongoing issues over in the land called Dagahir, over the course of 2020 and 2021, Belegarth saw one of the largest additions of realms to the society it had seen since we split from Dagahir in 2001. President War Master Hakan and his teams from the BOD of 1920 and 2021 can collectively boast the addition of upwards to between 17 and 20 new realms across multiple states during their board of directors period. States like Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio that had previously been a mix of both Belegarth and Dagahir are now almost 100% Belegarth realms, except for 2 groups in Ohio that are still part of Dagahir. So there are now no Dagahir realms that we're aware of in Michigan or Indiana. They are all Belegarth realms. Those used to be states where it was kind of like half and half, but now they're not. Current times. Our current board of directors. Our president is War Master Hakan Shattered Spear, the Leviathan of Wrath, who is on his 2nd term. Vice President Sir Thadric Thumbs, Premier Knight of the Dreadgate of Stygia, is on his 1st term. Our treasurer, Stormcrow of Numenor, also on his 1st term. Our secretary, Squire Sarka of Babylon, is on her 2nd term. Me! Our public relations coordinator, Squire Antoinette, finished order the Moosewitch, Master Senechal of Thunderguard, I'm on my 1st term as PR, but on my 6th term overall on the board of directors. And then we come to our juggernaut, Webmaster Dirian Hellhammer of Nan Belegorn, who is on his 13th term as Webmaster. Our speaking realms are Aether, which is in Fullerton, California, Bifrost in Fargo-Moorhead, Minnesota, Blood Moon Bay in San Rafael, California, Detreba Mora in Mountain Home, Idaho, Dunabon in Louisville, Kentucky, Gondor in Bellevue, Washington, I think that's how you pronounce that, Gwynedd in Dale City, Virginia, Melchior in London, Ontario, Canada, the Realm in Munich, Germany, whose name I cannot pronounce, Muxlovia in Romeoville, Illinois, Niflheim in Moorhead, Minnesota, Northlands in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Rasmuna in Medina, Ohio, the Ozarks in Siloam Springs, Arkansas, Thorndor in Rockford, Illinois, Tiernanog in Eugene, Oregon, and Umbar in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And breathe. Our voting realms, of which there are 38, include Acheron in Salt Lake City, Utah, Andor in San Diego, California, Andril in Irvine, California, Arnor in St. Louis, Missouri, Avalon in Akron, Ohio, Babylon in Bend, Oregon, Bardadoon in Las Vegas, Nevada, Benyorve in Davenport, Iowa, Carthage in Carbondale, Illinois, Dunharrow in Elgin, Illinois, Dertamirian in Nashville, Tennessee, Evanhold in Idaho Falls, Idaho, Ed Durath in Provo, Utah, the Frozen North in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, so that's St. Paul and Minneapolis, Minnesota, Grand in Peoria, Illinois, Hellholt in Merced, California, the Highlands of Chaos, also known as Corion in Pocatello, Idaho, Khazad-dûm in Fullerton, California, Cador in Freeport and Rockford, Illinois, Corabon in Anaheim, California, Minas Ithil in DeKalb, Illinois, Morva in Chicago, Illinois, Nan-Bellagorn in Cedar Falls, Iowa, Numenor in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, Pike the Iron Port in Portland, Oregon, Wrath in Boise, Idaho, Rune in Madison, Wisconsin, Sand Plains in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, Sarkor in San Ramon, California, Shannara in Twin Falls, Idaho, Stygia in Missoula, Montana, Sunspear in Clovis, California, Sword Coast in Venture, California, Thunderguard in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, Kirasleen in Ames, Iowa, Uberwald in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Valley of Ashes in Asheville, North Carolina, and Wolfpack of the High Plains in Bloomington, Bloomington Normal, Illinois. Oh. All right. So that is a quick overview of the history of Belegarth. Does anyone have any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
If I am a realm that has been active for a certain amount of time and we have a certain amount of people, how would we become a speaking realm?
That's a really good question. So in order to become a speaking realm, you need to be active for at least 1 year in Belegarth. You need to have at least 10 active members who are not part of any other realm, so who claim your realm, who show up to at least 1 practice a month during your fighting season. Alternatively, you may also have 10 people who show up to at least 3 inter-realm events per year that claim your realm, and that also counts to being a realm. That's how Thunderguard continues to exist. Because, yeah. So, words. So, once you are a voting realm, or once you are a realm and you've existed for a year, you go and you look for a voting realm who will sponsor you. They're going to need things like your realm charter, your code of conduct, things like your charter is like your code of conduct, and your realm bylaws, if you have any, who runs your realm, the point of contact for your realm, and answers to some really typical questions like how many members you have, how many of them are vets, what events do you guys go to, do you host any of your own events, those sorts of things. And then during a voting period for Belegarth, that realm that's sponsoring you to get speaking rights will go and be like, hey, this realm wants speaking rights, and post on the board. It'll get seconded, usually pretty quickly. Speaking realms, there's not a whole awful lot of discussion about them. If you don't have answers to some questions, they might ask you some questions, and then you'll convey those answers, and then the War Council votes on it, and then you're a speaking realm. Once you're a speaking realm, you have to be a speaking realm for a year before you can go and become a voting realm. So the process to go from speaking to voting realm is almost identical to the process from going from regular realm to speaking realm. They're going to ask you a bunch of questions about your realm and what you've done in the year that you were a speaking realm, and like your participation and stuff. And again, you need your charter, like your code of conduct and your bylaws and realm house rules or whatever you have. And then you'll become a voting. They'll vote on it again. And unless somebody has some major issues with you, which I haven't seen in a while, you will get to become a voting realm. It takes about 3 years total. Because you got to be a realm for a year, 2 years total. You got to be a realm for a year before you can be a speaking realm, and then you got to be speaking realm for a year before you can become a voting realm. So that's the process of how you decide or how you become a speaking or voting realm. If anyone has any questions, the bylaws that cover realms is Article 15 of the Belegarth bylaws, which you can find both on the Belegarth website at www.belegarth.com or on our Wikipedia, which is www.geddon.org. And the Belegarth bylaws are listed on the left-hand side as just like a quick link. You can click them and it'll take them to you. And topics that cover realms are Article 15. Does anyone else have any questions? No? Doesn't look like it? Okay.
Nothing in the chat and no hands raised.
I talk really fast, so that took a whole 17 minutes.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't mind sitting here if people have other questions, but I guess we can probably end the recording.
I love it.
It's awesome, Leita.
I got a whole outfit here. It's even got a blue crinoline. Now I'm not just wearing my garb.
Cute. I like it.
I love how you went from like flower crown to like bunny ears.